The alien space station moved slowly above a blue star. Its surface was white and silver and smooth like flowing water inside the station. Everything was quiet, calm, and controlled. Humans were rare guests here, not prisoners, not equals, just useful visitors. One of those humans was a man named Evan. Evan was not a soldier. He was not important. He was just a technician. His job was simple: repair systems. Fix broken signals, stay out of restricted areas. The alien empire liked humans who followed rules. Evan always followed rules. That night, he was sent alone to repair a weak energy signal near the inner rings of the station. The path was supposed to be simple straight halls blue, lights clear signs, but the signal kept moving. Evan followed it deeper. The light slowly changed from blue to soft gold. The air felt warmer, quieter. His footsteps sounded too loud. He checked his wrist tool again. The signal was close, very close. There was a door ahead, tall, smooth, and white. No warning symbols, no danger marks. Evan hesitated. This part of the station was not on his map, he told himself. It was fine, just another maintenance door. He pressed the panel. The door opened without sound. Warm air rushed out. Evan stepped forward. The door closed behind him. He froze. The room was huge, larger than any chamber he had seen before. Golden light floated in the air like dust. The walls curved smoothly and glowed with soft symbols that slowly moved. In the center of the room was water. It's not a pool, not a lake. The water floated in place like a living thing. Steam rose gently. The air smelled clean and sharp. Evan felt his heart beat faster. Then he saw her. She stood inside the floating water, calm and still. She was tall, her skin pale and patterned with glowing lines. Her eyes bright and focused. A thin golden crown rested on her head. Evan understood instantly this was not a normal alien. This was royalty. His breath caught in his chest. His mind screamed danger. This place was not for him. He had made a terrible mistake. He took one step back. The woman turned her head slowly and looked directly at him. Her eyes locked onto his. She did not shout. She did not move. She did not look. Surprised, she smiled. Evan felt cold. Every story he had heard about alien royalty filled his mind. Humans who entered restricted royal zones were erased quietly, completely. His hands trembled. "I am sorry," he said quickly. "I did not know this was a restricted area." His voice echoed softly. The woman did not answer with words. Instead, her voice peered inside his head. Calm, clear, powerful. "You are not afraid," she said. Evan swallowed. "I am afraid," he said out loud. "I am very afraid." Her smile grew softer. "Yet you did not scream, you did not run." She stepped forward. The floating water moved with her, never spilling. Evan wanted to look away, but he could not do. "You know where you are, human?" she asked. Evan nodded. Slowly, "I think I do. This is a royal chamber." The smile faded. "This is the royal bath." Evan felt his legs weaken. He lowered his head. "I will leave immediately," he said. "Please forgive me." Silence filled the room. The door behind him did not open. "You cannot leave yet," the voice said. Evan looked up. "Why?" he asked. "Because you have already seen it," she said. "Seen what?" he asked. "The truth." The symbols on the walls brightened. The water shifted. Evan felt a strange pressure in his chest. "This chamber tests those who enter it," she said. "It destroys fear. It reveals lies no outsider has entered and survived." Evan felt his mouth go dry. "Then why am I still alive?" he asked. The woman stepped closer. "Because the water did not reject you." Her eyes studied him. "And that should not be possible." Evan realized something. Then this was not just a mistake. This was a moment. Something important had just happened. Alarms began to sound far away, soft but growing louder. The woman turned her head slightly. "The guards are coming," she said. Fear finally broke through Evan's calm. "They will kill me," he said. She looked back at him. "No," she said. "They will." Not yet." She raised one hand. The water around her glowed brighter, and Evan felt something change inside him. The door behind him unlocked. "You will leave now," she said. "And you will say nothing." Evan nodded quickly, but he hesitated. "What was the truth?" he asked. The woman looked at him for a long moment. Then she spoke one final thought into his mind. "Humans are not weak," she said. "They are unfinished." The door opened. Evan ran behind him. The royal bath returned to silence, and the galaxy moved one step closer to change. Evan did not stop running until his lungs burned. The door sealed behind him, the golden light vanished the hall. Returned to cold white metal, his footsteps echoed as he moved fast through the corridor. Alarms did not scream. They whispered low and controlled. That made it worse. The alien empire never panicked. Evan reached a junction and leaned against the wall. His hands shook his mind, replayed her words again and again. Humans are not weak. They are unfinished. What did that even mean? His wrist tool vibrated as security ping guards were nearby. Evan forced himself to walk. Normally, he lowered his head. He became invisible again to alien guards past him, tall, armored, silent. They did not look at him that frightened, more than if they had. He reached his assigned quarters and sealed the door. The room locked automatically. Evan slid down to the floor. His heart still raced. He touched his chest. His skin felt warm to warm. Then he noticed something: thin glowing lines, faint, almost invisible. They moved slowly across his skin. Just under the surface he pulled back his sleeve. The same pattern was there. The bath had marked him. Panic rose. He tried to calm himself. Breathe slow, think clear. His communicator blinked. Incoming priority signal. His blood ran cold. He answered. A calm alien voice filled the room. Human technician Evan, you are requested for immediate evaluation. Evaluation. Evan knew what that meant. He considered running, but there was nowhere to go. I am on my way, he said. The door opened. The guards waited. They did not restrain him. They simply walked beside him. That was worse. They moved deeper into the station, past areas Evan had never seen. The walls here were darker, older. They reached a chamber with a wide-open space. Several alien figures waited inside, robed, watching. One stepped forward. This one was old, its voice slow and sharp. You entered a forbidden place, it said. Evan lowered his head. Yes, he said, that place destroys intruders, the elder said. Yet you walked out. The other alien shifted. Uneasy. Tell us what you saw. Evan remembered her final command. Say. Nothing. He lifted his head. I saw water, he said, and light. Nothing more. Silence followed. The elder moved closer. The bath does not lie. It said, its gaze fixed on Evan. We will test you. Before Evan could respond, the floor beneath him changed. Energy rose, soft but powerful. His body lifted into the air. Pressure surrounded him. Images flashed in his mind. Earth, cities, wars, hope, fear. He felt every emotion at once. The aliens watched carefully. Evan screamed inside his head, but his body stayed calm. The pressure grew stronger. Then suddenly it stopped. Evan dropped to the floor, gasping. The elder stiffened. Impossible, it whispered. The test should have broken you. Evan looked up slowly. I don't understand, he said. The elder stared at him. Because you are incompatible with fear. It said. That sentence spread tension through the room. Another alien spoke. Humans were classified as fragile. Evan pushed himself to stand with respect. He said, we survive on a dangerous world. Fear is our companion. The elder was silent. Then it turned away. Take him to isolation, it ordered. Evan was escorted again, this time deeper. The cell was clean, bright, empty. The door sealed. Evan sat on the bed. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time felt wrong. Then the air shifted. The room warmed. She appeared, not physically, but in his mind. You did well, the alien royal said. Evan sat up. Are you inside my head, he asked. Only lightly, she replied. They suspect something, she said, but they do not yet understand. Why me, Evan asked. Why did the bath accept me? Because humans evolve through pressure. She said you grow stronger where others break the sea. Empire fears what is coming, she continued. There is something older than us, something that consumes stars. We tried to prepare, but we are failing. Evan listened silently. You entered the bath by accident, she said, but accidents revealed truth. The mark you carry is a key to what Evan asked to survival. The connection faded. The room cooled. Evan sat alone again. Outside the cell, the Empire debated. Some wanted him erased, others wanted him studied. None of them realized the truth. The bath had not chosen Evan. It had chosen humanity, and this time the galaxy would not be ready. Evan woke to silence. Not the calm silence of his quarters, but a heavy silence that pressed against his thoughts. The cell lights were dimmer. The air felt thicker. He sat up slowly. The glowing lines beneath his skin pulsed once, then faded again. He had not imagined them. The door opened without warning. 3 aliens entered, not guards, scientists. Their bodies were thin, their eyes sharp, their movements precise. One of them spoke. Human Evan? You will answer questions. Evan stood. Am I a prisoner, he asked. The alien tilted its head. You are an anomaly, it replied. They guided him into another chamber. this one filled with floating screens. Symbols shifted constantly, images of stars. Appeared, then vanished. One screen paused. It showed a black shape moving through space. Evan frowned. "What is that?" he asked. The oldest scientist stepped forward. "That is extinction." The word hung in the air. "The alien empire has faced many enemies," the scientist said. "But this is not an enemy that can be fought. It consumes energy, matter, time. It moves slowly, but nothing escapes it." Evan felt cold. "Why show me this?" he asked. "Because the royal bath reacted to you," the alien said, "and the bath only reacts to solutions." Evan laughed softly. "I'm not a weapon," he said. The scientist looked at him. "Neither are we." Another screen activated. It showed ancient alien cities burning, falling species erased. "We built the empire to survive," the scientist said. "To control, to prepare, but control made us rigid." Evan understood. "Hey, then you stopped adapting," he said. "The aliens were silent, humans adapt." The scientist replied, "Even when adaptation hurts, they led him to the center of the room." Energy rose around Evan again, gentler. This time images filled his mind. Early humans running, fighting, learning, failure, growth, failure. Again, you evolve through pain, the alien said. "We avoid it." Evan clenched his fists. "So what do you want from me?" he asked. The scientist hesitated. "We want to know why the bath chose you." The air shifted. She returned. This time her presence filled the room. The scientists stepped back immediately. "You are asking the wrong question," she said. "The bath did not choose him. It revealed him." Evan looked around. "Revealed me how? As unfinished," she replied. "The Empire believes perfection is the goal. But perfection does not change." She walked toward Evan, her feet never touching the floor. "The threat we face evolves," she said. "Only unfinished beings can face it." One scientist spoke nervously. "Are you suggesting humans lead?" She turned her gaze toward it. "I am." Stating fact, the Empire grew uneasy. Evan felt the weight of every eye. "I don't want power," he said. "I just want to live." The royal smiled slightly. "Humans always say that," she said. "Then they do more." The screens changed again. This time they showed Earth, small, blue, fragile, yet still alive. "We hid the truth from humanity," the scientist said. "We feared panic." Evan shook his head. "You feared losing control?" Silence followed. The royal turned back to Evan. "The mark on you allows limited resistance to the threat," she said. "Only while you were alive." That realization struck him. "You used the bath to test humans without telling us," he said. "Yes," she replied. "And every time you erased the survivors," Evan said. The royal did not deny it. "This time will be different," she said. "Why?" Evan asked. "Because you walked in by accident, not as a test subject, not as a controlled sample, but as yourself." The room trembled slightly. A distant alarm echoed, not from the station, from space. The scientists looked at the screens. The black shape had moved closer. "The Empire has less time than we believed," one whispered. The royal turned to Evan. "You will turn to Earth," she said. "You will remember everything." Evan felt fear rise. "They will come for us," he said. "Yes," she replied. "And this time humans will be ready." The scientists protested, argued, feared. The royal silenced them. "The decision is made," she said. The chamber dimmed. Evan felt the mark burn once, then calm. When he opened his eyes, he was standing in a transport bay. A human ship waited. No guards. No restraints. Just a path home behind him. The alien empire watched ahead of him. Humanity slept, unaware that extinction was moving and that one mistake had changed everything.
The human ship left the alien station without ceremony. No farewell, no guards, no warning. Evan stood alone inside the small vessel, hands shaking, mind heavy. The stars outside looked normal, peaceful. He knew that was a lie. The mark under his skin pulsed softly. Not pain, more like a reminder. The ship jumped to faster space. Evan closed his eyes. Images flooded his thoughts again. Burning worlds, dark space, silence. After screams, the thing was coming. When the ship finally reached human space, Earth appeared bright and alive, cities glowing. Ships moving, people unaware. Evan felt a strange mix of relief and fear as soon as he landed. Human security surrounded him. They asked questions, too many, too fast. Where were you? What happened? Why did the aliens release you? Evan answered carefully. carefully. I fixed a signal. I was released. They did not believe him, but they let him go for now. Evan returned to a quiet city, back to a small room, back to normal life. But normal no longer existed at night. He could feel the mark react, as if listening. 1 week passed, then the sky changed. People noticed strange lights beyond the moon, not ships, not stars. Movement. Governments denied everything. Evan knew better. He received a message not through a device, but through thought. You must speak now, the royal said. Evan sat up. They are not ready, he replied. They never are, she said. The Empire will not interfere, she continued. This is your choice. Evan understood then that the Empire was stepping back. Humans would stand alone or fall alone. Evan went to the Human Council. Security laughed. At first, until he spoke details only aliens could know, until the lights in the room flickered. Responding to the mark, fear spread quickly. Some wanted him locked away, others wanted him silenced. One voice cut through the chaos. A human general. If he is lying, we lose nothing, she said. If he is right, we lose everything by ignoring him. They listened. Evan explained the threat slow, clear, something ancient, something patient, something unstoppable by force alone. What do we do? One leader asked. Evan hesitated, then he said the truth. We adapt. Weeks passed. Humanity changed, not in panic, but in quiet preparation. Ships were redesigned, not stronger, but flexible. AI systems were allowed to learn freely. Rules relaxed. Mistakes accepted. The alien empire watched from afar. Uncomfortable. This was not how they prepared. Then the dark presence crossed into human space. The stars dimmed, sensors failed, people screamed. Ships vanished without explosions. Evan stood in the control room of Earth Defense. The mark burned. This is it, he said. The human fleet moved not to attack, but to surround, to confuse, to adapt. The dark entity reacted, shifting, changing, but humans shifted faster. It lashed out. Human ships were lost, but the pattern was learned. The thing slowed. For the first time in its existence, the alien empire felt its shock, fear. They realized too late. Humans were not tools. They were catalysts. The royal watched silently. The bath did not reveal a secret. She thought it revealed a future. As the battle continued, the dark entity began to retreat. Not destroyed, but wounded. Afraid, the galaxy held its breath. Evan collapsed to his knees. The mark faded slightly. It is not over, he whispered. No, the royal replied. But now it knows you far away. The alien council argued. Some demanded control, others demanded alliance, but one truth was clear. Humanity had crossed the line. No longer guests, no longer weak. They had made a choice, and the galaxy would never be the same. The dark presence pulled back into deep space. It did not flee in panic. It withdrew with purpose that frightened Evan more than victory. The stars slowly returned to normal light, came back, signals stabilized. Across Earth, people celebrated. They believed the danger was over. Evan knew better. He stood in the quiet command room, watching data streams, patterns, changes. The mark beneath his skin was dimmer, but still alive. It was learning. Messages arrived from beyond. Human space, alien governments, trade coalitions, independent systems, all asking the same thing. What are humans? Some asked politely, others demanded answers. The alien empire remained silent. That silence spoke louder than any threat Evan was called before the Human Council. Again, this time the room was different. No doubt, no laughter, only fear, mixed with respect. They stopped it, one leader said, not destroyed. Evan replied, then why did it retreat? Another asked. Evan looked around the room. Because humans surprised it, he said, and it had never been surprised before. The room fell silent. News spread through the galaxy. Humans had slowed. The unstoppable humans had forced the ancient threat to think that changed everything. Alien leaders gathered in secret. Some feared humans would replace the empire, others feared humans would invite destruction. The word dangerous was spoken often not as an insult, as a warning. On Earth, changes continued. Human technology shifted rapidly. Not copied from aliens, but inspired by failure. Ships were built to break and rebuild, crews trained to think independently. Command systems allowed disagreement. This confused alien observers. It looked chaotic, but it worked. Evan became a symbol, not a hero, not a ruler, a reminder that mistakes could save worlds. The royal contacted him again. This time her presence felt distant. The galaxy is reacting, she said. They fear you. Evan sighed. I never wanted this, she replied calmly. Neither did we. When we built the empire, control always creates fear. She continued. Freedom creates uncertainty. Evan stared at the stars. Which is worse? The royal did not answer immediately. Then, uncertainty scares those who believe they are finished. Weeks later, the dark presence moved. Again, not toward Earth, toward the alien empire. Panic erupted. Systems that once ruled thousands of worlds now begged for help. The Council of the Empire contacted Earth. Their message was brief. We request alliance. Evan stood beside human leaders. The balance had shifted. On what terms? The human general asked. The empire hesitated. Equal partnership. That single phrase echoed. Evan felt the weight of it. The empire had never offered equality. He stepped forward. Humans will help, he said, but we will not be controlled. The empire agreed. Out of fear, not trust, joint fleets formed. Human unpredictability mixed with alien power. The dark presence met resistance. Again, stronger, faster. This time it did not retreat easily. It adapted. Evan felt the mark burn painfully. It is learning too, he said. So are we, the general replied. The battle stretched across space. Losses mounted. Humans lost ships. Aliens lost worlds. But something changed. Humans shared failure openly. Aliens hid it. That slowed the empire. Humans adjusted faster. The dark presence hesitated again, then vanished into a dead region of space. Not destroyed, but delayed. The galaxy exhaled. Afterward, alien worlds looked at humans differently, not as pets, not as tools, but as a risk. Some systems closed borders, others sought protection. The empire fractured. Control weakened. Evan stood on a balcony above Earth. The royal appeared. One last time. The bath revealed a secret, she said, but not the one we expected. What was it? Evan asked. That humanity would not save the galaxy quietly. You would change it. The mark on Evan faded almost completely. My role is ending, he said. Yes, she replied, but humanity has only begun. As her presence disappeared, Evan realized the truth. The galaxy now feared humans, not because they were cruel, but because they could not be predicted, and that fear would shape everything that came next. The galaxy did not return to peace, it returned to balance, and balance was fragile after the dark presence. Vanished into dead space, no one celebrated for long. Every species understood the truth, it would return. Evan no longer stood in command. Rooms no longer spoke to councils. He lived quietly again on Earth near the ocean. The mark beneath his skin was almost gone, but not fully. Sometimes at night, it warmed, as if listening to the stars. Humanity changed faster than anyone expected, not into conquerors, not into rulers, but into connectors. Humans shared knowledge freely, even mistakes, especially mistakes. Alien cultures struggled to understand this. For them, failure was shame. For humans, it was fuel. The alien empire continued to weaken world's left systems. Declared independence not because humans forced them, but because control no longer felt safe. The royal watched it all. From afar, she understood now the bath was never meant to test strength. It tested honesty, and humanity had passed without knowing it. One cycle later, the dark presence returned. But not to attack, to observe. Human sensors detected it immediately. No panic followed, no screaming. Humans prepared calmly. Fleets moved. Not in formation, but in layers, adaptive, chaotic, alive. The alien empire joined, but this time they followed the dark presence, reached out, not with force, but with pressure. Minds felt heavy, thoughts slowed. Many alien crews collapsed, humans adapted, they rotated. Crews shared mental load, changed patterns constantly. Evan stood aboard a human ship, not as leader, as witness. The mark flared again, bright and painful. The dark presence noticed him for the first time. It focused images filled Evan's mind. Endless hunger, cold logic, survival without mercy. It did not hate it, did not fear it, consumed. Evan spoke aloud. "You can't finish us," the presence replied, not in words but certainty. "Everything ends." Evan smiled sadly. Maybe, he said, but not the same way twice. Human ships changed tactics instantly, not because of orders, but because crews learned together. The dark presence struggled its predictions. Failed humans contradicted themselves, adapted mid-action, broke their own rules. Something the presence could not process for the first time. It felt confusion. The alien empire watched in silence. This was not power. This was something worse. Creativity. The presence began to fragment, not destroyed, but divided, forced to retreat. Again, losing parts of itself, it vanished. Deeper than before, beyond known space. This time, the galaxy knew it would not return whole after the battle. Alien leaders demanded answers. "What are humans?" one asked. Evan stood before them. "We are unfinished," he said, "and we choose to stay that way." The royal appeared publicly for the first time. "The bath revealed a truth," she said, "but we misunderstood it." She looked at the council. Humans do not seek control, they seek survival through change. The empire formally dissolved weeks later, not in fire, but agreement. New alliances formed, equal, messy, alive. Evan returned to Earth. The mark finally faded completely. His role was done. Years passed, children grew up knowing the stars were dangerous but not forbidden. Humans explored carefully, learning, failing, trying again. Far beyond the edge of space, fragments of the dark presence drifted, watching, learning, but it would never be whole again because it had met Something worse than a weapon. It had met humanity, and humanity could not be erased, not because they were strongest, but because they refused to stop becoming, and that was the secret. The alien royal bath did not reveal a hidden enemy. It revealed a truth the galaxy feared, that the most dangerous species was not the one that ruled, but the one that learned.